Are you ready to win over $1,700 of readings, healings, and coaching? Join the Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness Facebook group, where we will be launching the Soul Search giveaway on November 13th. One lucky winner will win all of these prizes: numerology life analysis, soul connection psychic reading, intuitive reading, holy fire healing, personal business coaching, channeling from source, starseed origins reading, mediumship reading, all from our incredible Soul Search luminary practitioners and TV stars. Don't miss this incredible opportunity for transformation and enlightenment. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our interview and chat with Jared the Medium. We are so excited because this is all part of our Soul Search giveaway, our first ever contest and giveaway in our Facebook group. And it's super easy for you guys to join in. Just join our Facebook group if you're not already at Soul Search Spiritual Holistic Wellness Community. You can see the link right there below. And what all you have to do is just invite your friends. One invitation equals 1 point. You can see the leaderboard on our Facebook group already. We've got a lot of people already in competition, but there's plenty of space for more. And we have over $1,700 of readings, healings, and coaching that we are giving away to one lucky winner. And I'm telling you, whoever gets this prize, they're definitely going to go through a big transformation. And I'm excited because one of our amazing TV influencers, Jared the Medium, he's giving a very generous prize of either a mediumship reading on Zoom or a mediumship development class. So either if you want to have a session to connect or a session to learn, you have an option here with Jared. And just to introduce Jared the Medium has been working as a professional medium for over a decade, bringing his straightforward, honest, and simple approach to mediumship. He teaches that all have this ability, and you can see and meet Jared in person at a lot of our Soul Search Enlightenment Expos. He's going to be with us live in Dublin coming up. He'll be back with us in Scottsdale in January. And of course, you can watch his amazing show on Soul Search TV, Medium Sized Ego. Yes, and then you can actually see him in a gallery setting space at a lot of our expos, going through his process and also getting feedback from the people that he's reading for. So Jared, welcome. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for the great introduction. I appreciate it. And good morning, good afternoon-ish.
Thanks. So Jared, you are being very generous as part of this giveaway, and you are giving an option for either a mediumship reading or a mediumship development class. So tell us a little bit about both. What is mediumship? Why do people come to you for readings? And what is the transformation that occurs when people come to you for these sessions?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna have enough time to give you all the transformations that happen, but it's different for everybody, right? The truth is,
Yeah.
it's always different. For each person is on their own journey, I guess you would say. But a mediumship reading, I always describe it as like I'm communicating with people who are past. Sometimes that's your loved ones, and sometimes that's your guides. It's just I'm connecting to the people on the other side who are trying to communicate with you. And so that's the way I like to kind of make it simple. Again, that's my job, is to make it simple so everybody can understand it. I need it simple so I can understand it, right? So that's kind of why I do it that way. But people come to me. A lot of people come who have lost loved ones, or who are just kind of stuck and they don't know what to do, or a lot of different reasons. And when they come to me, I like to bring, my job really is to bring evidence of that this is real. So I always say, like, I'm an evidential medium. So my job is really just to bring evidence from the other side that they're still there, that there are people trying to help you, that we have a connection to the other side, that there are loved ones and guides and people trying to help us all the time. And all we have to do is listen. And
Hmm.
so I always say this, like, my job is to convince you that you can go home and communicate with these people and you don't need me. So my job is to convince people they don't need me. So so that's what I try to do. I try to bring enough evidence through that they know this is real. They know that their loved ones are paying attention. They know that they see what they're going through. They know that they still love them. They know all the stuff that's going on in their lives. And so that
Hmm.
when they again they go home, they are like, hey, this is, you're here. I can talk to you. And so I hope that that's what I do is I teach other people to go home and be the medium themselves.
Beautiful. And I know that, obviously, when we lose someone in our life, whether it's a relative, friend, pet, it can be traumatic for us, right? And there are things unresolved, unsaid, questions remaining. So is that kind of what people often come to you for? I'm just curious.
Yeah, most of the time it's loved ones who are passed and they're grieving still, or they just want to know that they're okay. I mean, most of the time, really, that's what they want. They want to know that their loved ones are okay. Uh, and again, I don't just say, "Oh, your loved ones are okay," because that's like anybody could say that, right? But so if I can first bring some evidence, like, hey, he said you just got a tattoo with his name in writing, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, how would you know that?" Then I could, well, because he wants you to know he's okay. And so that
Mhm.
process works because the message means nothing without the evidence to me anyway. To me. I mean, because that's how I
Mhm.
and so
Yeah.
and again, what it does is it allows these people to let go of the grief that they're holding on to. It allows them to heal. It allows them to feel a lot of times. A lot of times they just stop feeling because and it just allows them to feel again. And because they're just too afraid to feel because it hurts too bad. And so
Mm.
it brings it to a head and they feel it and that's what they need. So like I said, it's different for everybody, but a lot of that just people needing to heal.
Yeah, exactly. And so this really is a pathway for healing, for communication, for understanding. And something that you have said several times that I know you always say is that anyone has this ability. And so that's your alternative prize that you're giving to people, an actual mediumship development session with you. And so what does that look like? And why would people want to do this? And what are the results that you've seen from some of the classes? Because I know you do this all the time.
Yeah, so my development sessions are a one-on-one 2-hour session, and they've been amazing. And again, it's not something that I was taught or I learned or I studied. This is all stuff I got from spirit and how to teach people. And most of what I do is all spirit led. So my development sessions are all spirit led. And so I like to say that anybody has this ability. And again, when you go through a session with me, it could be one of two things. You could already have some abilities showing, and you want to figure out how to use those, or like what to do with it next, or it could just be to see if you have abilities or what your abilities are. I mean, again, everybody has abilities, but it's to see what they are and how to use them. And the sessions are amazing. I take them through a guided meditation first. I can't
Mhm.
tell you. If I tell you what happens in the guided meditation, it would ruin the surprise. So I can't do that. But there's some amazing things that happen in what I call these guided meditations, because I don't
Mm.
know what they're going to be. I'm getting it from my guide, and my guide's getting it from your guide. So it's coming directly from what you need. And so these guided meditations are just amazing. And then it really connects you. It really opens you up. And then I kind of take them through some lessons where I teach them. I like to say my tricks. And I know that that's some people don't like that word but it's they're the tricks that I use to keep my ego out of the way in order to do
Mm.
this kind of work. And they are tricks. And so I go through the whole list of them the best that I can, to help somebody with dealing with self and ego and what gets in the way, the blocks that we have that block us from
Mhm.
our abilities. And I take them through all that. And then in the process of this, I practice with them over and over again. I take them back and forth and practice and give them a little practice in and out of practice, back and forth. And so that's kind of how it goes. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience doing these. It's like my favorite thing to do. That's why I'm like, I love to give back and I love to give them away, and I love to do giveaways. So
Mhm.
because to me, this isn't really work. I'm a construction worker. I work with my hands. I'm a general contractor who works construction all week, and then I get to do this on the weekends. I get to do this on Fridays. I get to do this. So I love giving back, and I love doing development sessions and teaching, and helping others. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, so these are pretty
Yeah,
amazing, and they're
right.
really good for Zoom. I'm amazed at how good the Zoom ones are because of the noise cancellating headphones. I'm trying to like get a setup where I can do that in person, so I have the noise cancellation, because it's just, for some reason, it's so amazing. So yeah, so
Mm,
I decided that I would offer that also. If someone wants to do a development session instead of a reading, just depends on what they want, what they need, where they're at in their lives. Maybe they don't
mhm.
need to hear from their loved ones. Maybe they have abilities and they want to do so themselves. So that's a 2-hour session, like I said, and the value on that I think is going for 250 right now. So so
Mm.
so it so it's a pretty
Wow.
good little giveaway.
That's great. So for those of you guys tuning in and watching this, Jared the Medium is actually announcing that he has two alternative prizes. So whoever is going to win the $1,700 package, this giveaway, you can either choose to get a 20-minute mediumship session reading with Jared the Medium, right? And Jared, you're going to connect to their lost loved ones. Or if you are interested in developing your own mediumship develop abilities, you can do a mediumship development session with Jared. So, it really kind of depends on what you're looking for. And like you said, Jared, where people are in their lives. Some people are like, I'm ready to develop my skills. and they can really start doing that with you. And I really encourage all of you guys, if you haven't yet, check out Jared's show on Soul Search TV, Medium Sized Ego. It is amazing because you can see Jared in a gallery setting, but you can see how he deals with his ego, before, during, and after. So you kind of get a uh behind the scenes view, of your whole process that you go through, Jared, which is really cool that you really bring people into that journey with you.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point, is to kind of share the ins and outs, the good and the bad. I want people to realize that this is something they can do, not think it's something that only special people can do. But that's because they don't see all the hard parts too. And then the other thing, you said 20-minute, but I think it's a 40-minute Zoom or a 2-hour
Mm.
development session. So
Okay, great. So 40-minute Zoom or a 2-hour development session. I see Shelly Miller on Facebook commenting, I would love to do a development session with Jared. So Shelly, this is your chance. You can join the Facebook giveaway. Just start inviting your friends and you could be on your way to doing this development session with Jared the Medium. And Jared, I love how you were sharing that, you're a general contractor, you're working with your hands. So a lot of people come to us and they're like, oh, you're practitioners. They've just been doing this since the day they were born. They have these gifts and abilities, but I'll never be able to do that. And so you're a great, example of saying, hey, this is me. And, you're still doing other work as well. And so I love how you kind of share all of that with people.
yeah, I mean, I think we're all born with this ability and we learn away from it. That's pretty much what happens. And some people don't, but some people do, and most of us do. And so, yeah, I think that all of us can do this. I know that because I've taken people who have no abilities or think they have no abilities and taken them through this simple program, and they will get stuff at the end and be amazed. So that's why I'm confident when I say everybody has this ability, because I've seen it. I've seen it transform. So it's pretty amazing. So yeah, if you just want to see if you have abilities, or if you can find out if you have them or what they are, or tap into them, or stop yourself from hiding from them, then the session's a great thing also.
Amazing. Yeah. And so, you know, d- with your work, would you say that, you had like a spiritual epiphany that brought you into this mediumship, or was it something gradual over time that brought you into this medium work
To
that you
do
do?
the work, or to communicate with the other side, because those are two different things, right? So like I've
Oh,
always kind of
both.
communicated with the other
Okay.
side, because my but see, I just say, let's say it, like, I had a head start because my dad died when I was 2, so like I could always feel my dad around and know when he was around. But there was a
Mhm.
time period when I was young that I was sure of that. And
Mhm.
then people told me that wasn't real.
Mhm.
People, family, school, kids, they're like, hey, that's not, they tell you it's the boogeyman. You can't really talk to, it's not real. And so I learned away from it. I stopped listening to it. I didn't pay attention to it. And guess what? It went away. And
Mhm.
so the truth is it's always been there, but I kind of blocked it. And so that's what we do. We kind of block it. And so the truth is, to do this work, you have to kind of be what we call a clear channel, which means you have to have not a bunch of stuff you're hiding from in your past, and you can't be blocked. And so my path has forced me to unblock those things because of my addiction and recovery. So
Mhm.
because of that, it's forced me to unblock that, which has allowed me to go back to being the medium and to help other people. And then the fact that I went through all that makes me want to help other people too. So that
Mhm.
makes me want really, makes me really deeply want to help others because I've been through so much. And so those are several of the things that had to align for me to end up doing this kind of work for, again, I think everybody can do this, but not everybody is called to do it.
Sure. Exactly. Exactly. And we can develop our abilities to communicate with the other side, but we don't necessarily then feel like we have to become a medium or become a psychic. It's just kind of opening up our abilities and our senses.
And that's why I'm showing everybody, because that's the most important thing I could say, is that you don't have to be a medium, but you should know how to use this, because we have a whole bunch of people that are always constantly trying to help us. And we're like, maybe I'll try, maybe I'll do it on my own, maybe I'll just keep struggling over here. And so it's like,
Mhm.
no, just learn to kind of listen. And again, and I'm, like I said, I'm not super skeptical. So it's like, I don't just believe anything, and I don't, just sign up for anybody saying believe everything you hear. So that's not the case. But like, you have your own personal guides and loved ones that all they're doing is trying to help you. So I'm just
Mhm.
trying to open people's eyes to that, to use that, and that's all part of this process of communicating with the other side.
Definitely. And that's really beautiful because I think, we, like you said, whether it's through family, culture, school, religion, society, we have so many messages that we get from the day we're born that, the other side doesn't exist and the other side isn't real. And we end up blocking like our own abilities. We block our own senses, like these sixth, seventh, eighth senses. We have so many senses. We have so many extra sensory perception available to us, but we block ourselves off from all of that. And then you're here helping, whether they're getting a mediumship reading with you or they're actually doing the mediumship development session with you. Either way, people are opening up because all of a sudden they're like, wait a minute, what I've been told is not real is actually real.
Very true. And most of the time that is through a reading, not through a development session, because I have so many people who come to me who just, they're very skeptical, and I love that, because so am I. And those are the people that I can get through to, because I know how to handle that, because I know how to treat skeptical people, because I'm skeptical. I just treat them like I would want to be treated.
Sure.
And yeah,
Exactly.
it's an amazing thing when you can take that person, that skeptic, that would never believe in this, would never be in my office, would never be sitting in front of me, and they walk out of there believing, and it changes their lives. And again, it's not me. I don't take credit for that. That's spirit. Like, spirit brought them to me. Spirit gave me the communication. Spirit passed it on. I don't get to take credit for that, but I love to be witness to it. I love to be witness to these people whose lives change, immensely. And it's great. Like, I just recently had a whole slew of police officers who came to me because,
Wow.
yeah, and I do a lot of police officers. I end up with a lot of 911 call dispatchers. For some reason, I've got a whole slew of those who come to me because one of them came to me, and they were very skeptical. And you read one police officer who's skeptical, and then they'll send their buddies, and they'll send their wives, and they'll send, and they all come back. And so to see that, because those are some of the most skeptical people I deal with, and I just love it, because you get to see the transformation that happens when people show up.
Exactly, exactly. And I love the example that you're giving of police officers, 911 operators, because, a lot of times people will come to Soul Search and they will be like, well, this is super woo woo. I don't know if it's for me. But then we have a lot of people come who are skeptical. And suddenly, they're having sessions with you or one of our channelers or getting an energy healing, and they feel the shift, they feel something open up. And that's really what we're about, like here at Soul Search and our whole community, whether you're connecting with us in our Facebook group, or if you are coming to our enlightenment expos, or just watching this online, on social media. You're suddenly tapping in to this community where we are committed to supporting one another and opening ourselves up, and opening ourselves up to transformation, and opening ourselves up to all of the support that we have. Like Jared, you were saying, we're so supported from the other side, but so many of us walk around feeling like we're so alone and no one is here for us. No one is supporting us. But whether it's our angels, our ascended masters, our spirit guides, or our family members, or our friends, we really have a lot here around us and with us that we can tune in and tap into that can really support our journey.
Yeah, there's so much. I mean, I don't even know how many, but there's a lot of help. And all we got to do is, use it. And but of course, like that's my life story. I've always had help, and I was just stubborn, and I just want to, that's how I learn, is by, hitting my head against the wall. So, but I have learned that it's there, and I've learned to trust it and count on it. And my life has completely changed since I made that decision. I mean, it was kind of like a one-time decision where I'm like, okay, I'm sick of my way. I'm miserable. Let me just, okay, they've been telling me to do this for so long. Let me just try it and see how it works. And the truth is, I felt so much peace and so much comfort. And it was so much easier than the way I've been doing it for so many years, that I was like, okay, every time I'm doing this now, from now on, I'm trying to listen to spirit. From now on, if they tell me to do something, I'm doing it. And then it turned to more like, okay, every time I want to do something, let me ask spirit. Let me ask, and I don't do it all the time, but anytime it's important, or anytime I, start to feel the bump in my head against the wall thing, I'll ask spirit. And I've got that communication, and I can do that, and they help, and they're never wrong. I mean, I learned that a long time ago. They're never wrong. They've never once given me the wrong information. They've never once led me the wrong direction. But I have. So there you go.
Definitely. Yeah. And that's true. We can be very stubborn and hard headed, and sometimes spirit has to knock harder and harder and harder for us to start listening. So, with your work, Jared, you're really helping people to tune in, to begin listening, or to be able to listen even more fully. That's what I like to say. We're just
Or
kind of
listen again.
or listen again. Exactly. Listen again. That's true, because it's just remembering, right? Because we all have this, and whether it's this lifetime or previous lifetimes, we all have, remembrance of having all of these, extrasensory abilities. These are just part of our normal senses. And now we're at this really exciting time in our awakening of humanity, that we're actually now connecting back to those abilities. And they're not, soon, we're going to see, like with Soul Search, that's what we love to do, is introduce people to people like you, Jared, where you're like, hey, I just had a normal life, and I came against a lot of obstacles, and I was finally pushed into like, wait, I'm going to open up to these abilities that I know have been there, but I've been pushing down for a long time. And that's a lot of people's stories. People know they have some other senses and gifts and abilities, but people don't want to be labeled as crazy or out there, or, anything like that.
And there seems to be a real large insurgence of it going on. I've seen more and more over the last few years that people coming back to it and coming to me and being like, I used to believe this, or I got away from it, or, as they get a little older, and the more people they lose in their lives, they start to, feel the communication with them, and they start rethinking this. Like, well, maybe that stuff they told me was wrong. How can it be wrong for me to talk to my son, who passed away? If he's showing up and I feel him, how can that be evil, right? Like, how can that be wrong? And so that's a lot of the people we get, is they're coming back to it as they get a little older. And those are some of the reasons they come back to it.
That's really amazing. Beautiful. And so, for all of you guys tuning in, this is so exciting. You guys got a chance to meet Jared the Medium. He is incredible. If you have an opportunity, of course, come meet him live. We'll be in Dublin on December 1st and also in Scottsdale, January 11th. And stay tuned for our 2025 Enlightenment Expo calendar. But for those of you guys who are part of our Facebook group, you can start trying to win this session with Jared right away. You can, of course, join our Facebook group if you are already part of our Facebook group. Amazing. Start inviting your friends. One invitation equals 1 point. They don't have to accept, although, of course, we want them to. One invitation equals 1 point, and whoever gets the most points by the end of our giveaway is going to win a $1,700 basket of all of these amazing readings, healings, coaching sessions. And with Jared, you'll have the ability to choose. You can either choose a mediumship reading with Jared or a mediumship development session if you want to develop your own mediumship abilities. So that's really exciting, Jared, that you're kind of giving people a choice on what they want to tune into.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited.
And of course, you can always connect with Jared through Soul Search. You can find him at soulsearch.io, and definitely check out Jared's show on Soul Search TV, Medium Sized Ego. You're going to see him in a gallery setting. He's going to be going through his process before, during, and after. And also, you're going to get to see a lot of the transformations that occur for people as they're getting mediumship readings. So it's a really incredible show. Jared's already filming season 2, but check out season 1 on Soul Search TV. It's available on demand online on soulsearch.tv, as well as on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Android TV. So guys, we're excited about this giveaway. Jared, thank you so much for being a part of it. Definitely join the giveaway if you haven't, so you can get your chance to get your reading or development session with Jared. And we're going to see you guys soon. We'll see who's on the leaderboard today. And Jared, thanks so much for your time today. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Are you ready to win over $1,700 of readings, healings, and coaching? Join the Soul Search Spiritual and Holistic Wellness Facebook group, where we will be launching the Soul Search giveaway on November 13th. One lucky winner will win all of these prizes: numerology life analysis, soul connection psychic reading, intuitive reading, holy fire healing, personal business coaching, channeling from source, starseed origins reading, mediumship reading, all from our incredible Soul Search luminary practitioners and TV stars. Don't miss this incredible opportunity